5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
On the edge of the box is Madden. Madden trying to manufacture the shot, gets it away, it's there! Oh my word! What a goal from Paddy Madden! The Irishman strikes again! And is that the goal that's going to send Stockport County back into the Football League?
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Scarf Bagara War. Series 9, Episode 5. This is of our long-standing, award-nominated, not quite won yet podcast. You will see that somebody is missing. He's frantically messaging me on WhatsApp right now because he's got an issue. Apparently, I've got to invite him to the to this. So I will do that. In the meantime, while I'm getting Nick on, we have a guest with us this week. He is a long-standing fan of Stockport County. I think he's been going since the 80s. He's a lot older than I am, but when you see him, he looks a lot younger. And for that, I'm just eternally jealous of him. So we'll get him out. It's Mark Wagster, aka Waggy.
Evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Not too bad. I've worked out it's actually 1990 was my first game.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I thought I'd gone in the 89 season, but no, it was 1990.
Right. So I went to county before you. Wow.
Yeah, I went unsupervised though.
Oh, did you? Ah, right. Yeah, I was very much supervised. I was about 5, and we lived on Shore Reef. So
yeah, no, I was I was 17. So
nice. Nick's trying furiously to get on, so he will join us. What we did say is, if you couldn't join us, if you just put a wig on, you've got the glasses and the beard. You know, you too could look like a fax of Jurgen Klopp.
I don't say that. The missus will be buying me a wig.
Oh yeah, she's a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, she's a Liverpool fan. Yeah,
she's a Liverpool fan. Before we get into what we are talking about today, which is clear what we're going to talk about tonight, so obviously we're going to preview or review the Crewe game from last night. We're going to review the AFC Wimbledon game. We're going to look forward to Tranmere on Saturday. Sorry, don't know why I said Monday. We haven't got an opposition guest, unfortunately, tonight, so I do apologise for that. Tranmere fans are hard to get hold of and few and far between. Well, at least the ones that do podcasts. And we'll talk about the new COO, and we'll talk about the transfers as well, the ins and outs on the transfers. Just from today, though, because quite a lot happened today. And later on, we'll talk about you, Waggy. Talk about how you got into county and how long you've been supporting them. I can see county memorabilia actually in your house. So that,
yeah,
I mean, that's a good sign.
Everything down, and I've managed to get some pictures up.
Hey, good. Well, you can see all mine's in me in the bar, innit? I'm not allowed anything in the house, which is fair enough. I can live with that. So before we do that, I just got an announcement to make. Dave Wright, a friend of the podcast, you might know Dave. He does quite a lot of filming in and around Stockport. He says that there's a Stockport Sports Village on pitch 9B. Looks like 98 to me. I think it's 9B. I don't think they've got 98 pitches. It's a get on side. It's a mental health and wellbeing football at Stockport Sports Village every Monday, 7 till 8 p.m. All welcome, men or women, any ability. So get yourself down there, Stockport Sports Village on a Monday. And just to say as well, we've got an extra pod coming this week, which is a County Ladies pod. So I'll be doing that later in the week with Steve O'Hara, and I've got a special guest as well, Abby from Soccer Girls. So she's got a little business providing football kit to the women's game. So there we go. I'm not sure where Nick is. He sent me a message saying he's not got a clue what's going on. I think he needs to reboot.
I promise.
No, I think I'm just gonna type here. Turn it off and back on again.
Yeah, you definitely work in IT.
Because I work in IT, and that is a genuine course of action. Before we start, good evening to everybody that's listening or watching. I can see quite a few of the usual crew online. Phil, Gaz, Matt over in Florida, PGRC and John Billsbury. And please as well, we've got a new Patreon going as well. That's live. So we're going to start introducing tiers to this. This will always be free. Every Wednesday live, free for everybody. It will also be free on a Friday. So the audio podcast will come out on a Friday. But if you're part of the Patreon, you will get the audio podcast with the same night that this goes live. But it won't be available to everybody until Friday morning. So yeah. He's going to try rebooting it, he said. So we'll see what happens. If that doesn't work, I might have to send him to second line support because I don't know what's going on. Waggy, let's not try to do IT jokes all night. We'll just alienate. No. We'll alienate everybody, won't we? Okay. I hope he makes it on. Okay, so let's talk about AFC Wimbledon on Saturday. Firstly, tell the audience, did you go?
No.
Well, that was short and concise. Okay.
No, I didn't, but I watched it from Slovakia or somewhere like that on a fully legitimate Fire Stick.
Nice. Oh, you're breaking up now slightly. Bloody hell, what's going on? Is it me?
Here we go.
Here we go. Let's just roll with the punches. So you watched it from Slovakia. I've been to Slovakia. The internet's good there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's surprising.
You live in Liverpool, don't you? What's the internet like in Liverpool? Because it's a bit stuttery at the moment.
I'm guessing that it's not as good as it's expecting to be. So we'll just keep going with it. See how long I last. Otherwise, you're doing it on your own.
I know. I might have to do a phone in. That's me. We'll do a phone in if that happens. Nick is trying furiously to come with us. There we go. We'll see if he joins us. Ooh. Yeah. So AFC Wimbledon. You didn't go. What did it seem like on the telly? Because I was there, and I'll give my opinion shortly.
I think they were a well-drilled side. We struggled to break them down, but the referee, he must get paid by the word, because it just seemed that every time that there was a free kick or anything, he'd stop, have a word with the player, have a chat with the player, and then let people take the free kick. It was like, what was it, 3-4 minutes for the penalty when they were discussing it and stuff. And
yeah.
He was just, every single decision, he wouldn't let you take the free kick. It was bring the player over, have a chat with him, speak about it, and then you can play on. And another set piece, considering that guy shouldn't have been on the pitch because his elbow against collar in the first 8 seconds or something. He went straight through with his elbow out like that. And then he did it again to Crowsdale, I think on the 18th minute or something like that, and then got booked for it. So, and he was the one that scored the goal, wasn't he? That Pell or
is it Harry Pell?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. I don't really know the name. I've started to get better at the away players. You know who's to look out for and who's to watch. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, I didn't quite see the one early on. I must have been talking to somebody or talking to me lad or whatever. But I thought the one on Crowsdale after 18 minutes or whatever. I thought that was a red card.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he was definitely yeah. Gazendo, I think it's Gaz Henderson. I think definitely red for the second elbow. I thought it was as well, and I was there watching it. Definitely thought it was. But apart from that, what about? I mean, it's just started to lose our way a bit. It seemed to me, as soon as we missed that penalty, obviously golden opportunity to go ahead, we just started to lose our way a bit.
Yeah, as I say, I think he changed the system, didn't he, to try and counteract them to play the same system against them? Because I think he said that they play a 4-3-3, but they drop it back into a 4-5-1 when they've not got the ball. So I think he was trying to counteract that. But yeah, people just didn't really seem to know where they were playing or what they were supposed to do. So it just seemed a bit unhinged. And
Yeah.
I don't know, again, did he leave his substitutions a bit too late?
Yeah, well, we spoke about that last night, didn't we?
Yeah, we did spoke about that last night at Crewe, but
Yeah.
he just seemed to leave it a long time before he brought Madden on. You know, and you thought it needed to give us 2 up front to actually attack them and go at them.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about substitutions when we come to the Crewe match. I'm not sure it's a massive issue, but it's an interesting point to talk about. Yeah, I thought Madden came on a bit too late for it, but then I always felt that we could have been playing till midnight. I don't think we'd have scored a goal.
No. You're either reading a message off Nick or you're frozen.
I think the internet gremlins are really working overtime tonight, aren't they? What's going on? Oh, we'll have to.
Obviously, I'm not coming back on again, am I?
No idea what's going on there. Yeah, JK, they were very dark, arty throughout. We'll have to get the better of beating teams like that. Yeah, 100%. I thought they were very dark, arty. I thought they had to play very, very well to have a chance of beating us, which they did. And obviously, we had a bit of an off day. They were dark, arty, but like we spoke to JJ last week, James Jennings last week about it. That's kind of what you've got to do, haven't you?
Yeah, and I think that goes back to say, like, certainly the first 10 games of the season, every team's doing it. They all seem to want a time waste from minute one. And are we being too honest? Are we being too nice and not being shithouses?
Yeah.
Realistically, the only one that you can see doing it is Paddy. Every time there's a free kick against them, he picks the ball up wherever he is. He runs over, gets the ball so they can't take a free kick or anything like that.
Yeah, true. Yeah, he does. I don't know. I always get this thing where is it like when you see, if you've got a nephew or a niece, if you don't see them for very long, you notice that they've grown a lot, don't you? When you're not saying, "Oh, you've grown, bloody hell." But if you see him every day, like it's your son or your daughter, you don't notice them growing up. You don't notice the height difference. Is it like that with us, with County, where we don't know? We can't tell that we're doing the dark arts, and when we do the dark arts and we're winning, we're not actually concentrating on that. They probably are doing it, but we're not bothered because we're winning. And we only see it when we're losing in other teams.
Oh, in other teams, but then if we're just, I don't know. I don't think so. I wouldn't like to say. The only person that I see doing it or notice doing it really is Paddy, and he does it whether we're winning, losing, or drawing. He gets up and picks that ball up, and then has a word with the referee or something like that. And you don't really see it with the other, I'd say we will get onto it, but every time Crewe got a free kick, there was one of them there just kicking it away, doing something just to unrest us, unsettle us, get us moving around and stuff like that. So I just think I don't see it, I don't notice it as much as for us at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's just because we don't notice it. Maybe I'll make a concerted effort to look at what it is. Look at it. Let me try Nick again. Otherwise, we might open it up and get, if anybody wants to join us, we might have a bit of a phone in. See how that goes down. Yeah, not sure. It was a strange one. I mean, but just from a fan's perspective, though, my day was pretty interesting. I know there's lots of travel disruption, wasn't there? I mean, there
John Kieran said it a few times on the stream, saying about there was loads of trains cancelled going down. He was worried about not getting his train home because the referee added like 17 days on whatever it was for injury time. So it was back in the World Cup.
Yeah, it was weird. it was weird the amount of time. Well, like you say, he was talking to everybody every step of the way. The lad at the end, who was walking to go off towards the dugout, sort of took a knee. I don't know, 3 or 4 yards away from the byline, and then the physio came on and could only be described as looked like applying makeup to him. I don't know. She was doing something with it, like blusher, or I couldn't tell. That took ages. It took absolutely ages. Any momentum we had, if we even had any at that point, would have gone anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was frustrating. It was a frustrating afternoon. It was a frustrating afternoon, all in all. I mean, I had travel disruption getting down there on the Friday. Our train actually turned back to Stockport from Macclesfield because the line had suddenly been shut for a police incident. So to go back to Stockport, get on another train, go on the Crewe line. And of course, I've had tales of woe with travel recently anyway. So as you know,
yeah.
so yeah. But yeah, getting through London was fine for me. And then we got to the ground. There was definitely lots of London accents in that away end.
Right.
I don't know how they got tickets or why. I saw at least one stag do. So yeah, just a weird one. I don't know. I got the sense that when I went into that away end, it wasn't all the usual faces that I would normally see. Like Crewe last night, loads of people that you normally see, as per usual. But there he is.
I don't want to talk about it.
You've just saved me from the doing an impromptu phone in.
Oh, you don't want that. Oh! No, you don't want that, do you? No, you don't want to be speaking to these fucking oiks, do you? The oik, you know, as Kylie Minogue sang.
So what was the gremlin? Or do you not know? Is it just a reboot and everything's working?
No, well, I mean, I'm annoyed by it, but it's good comedy, isn't it? And that's all I can offer with this. So I sat on my laptop the other day. I sat on my laptop and broke the screen because I'm an idiot.
Right.
So I've got like an old Chromebook, and I was like, "Yeah, Chromebook was fine with StreamYard last time, no problem." Turns out it's not now. Turns out. So what I've had to do, I have had to find an old telly out of the loft, plug that in, run the laptop through the HDMI, and I mean the webcam is on my laptop, and I'm looking at the telly, so I look bog-eyed. Other than that, though, great lads. How you doing, Waggy? Good, nice to see you, mate. Pleasure.
Yeah, all right, mate. Not too bad. Not too bad. I promise it wasn't nothing to do with me.
No, absolutely. I mean, to be fair, if you hadn't have been on, I just wouldn't have bothered. But I thought, I want to speak to Waggy, so I'm coming on. Oh, I wrote a bloody intro and everything. Oh.
Do you want to do it again?
Do you want to do the intro? Yeah, go on.
Ready.
Five.
I'm only joking. We're not going through that again. But yeah, do your intro. Come on.
I had a good little. So basically, a defeat to some children's TV characters, a draw against a club who are the exact opposite of children's TV characters, and then I had a joke about you. I had a joke about your bum, Russ. I said it's a man who spent a large portion of Saturday stuck on the tube. Luckily, the doctors managed to remove it, but sadly, the hamster couldn't be saved. So that's how I've been spending my day. Instead of testing out the laptop, that's what I was doing.
Yeah, but the thing is, you wouldn't have known to test it out, would you? Because you don't know there's something wrong with it until you've opened the lid to find out that the screen's broke.
Oh no, right? I knew that. I knew that 2 days ago. That's why I messaged you last night and said I'll be on a different laptop.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
But then, because you didn't get back to me until 1 minute to 7 with the code for me to log in, I didn't have that time.
It's my fault. It's my fault. Obviously, Waggy. It's my fault.
I can't find
It's always your fault.
How are we doing? All right.
Yeah, we're okay. We're just on to AFC Wimbledon away and talking about the stag do that was in our end.
A southern stag do, apparently, from what I've seen on the boards.
Yeah, there was a Southern Exile County fan there on his stag do. Another county fan wanted to fight him on the basis of his accent and those of his mates. I'm going to correct that slightly because I was stood 2 seats away from what happened. And I believe it was when the goal went in and the said county fan heard the accents and thought probably.
Yeah.
And then I think something was said. So the stag do's not going to be asked about county going 1-0 down. So they're probably going to say something a bit flippant, aren't they? And if you say it in earshot of somebody who's a county fan, then I mean, if you play silly games, you win silly prizes, is what I'd say. I don't condone
it
it.
serves them right
but-
for having a stag do, really. I didn't get a stag do.
Oh, did you not?
No, I didn't. I hurried wedding, no one. We just went bowling the night before.
Bowling? Did you?
I went bowling with my wife to be the night before. Yeah, this is in Canada though, where bowling's exotic.
Right, and indoors.
I'm indoors. Yeah, I wasn't Crown Green.
Oh no, but it's
Not that
cold in
old.
Canada, isn't it? Everywhere's,
Yeah,
everywhere's
no,
full of snow and cold.
Yeah, it was nippy. Yeah. My nipples are still hard. No.
Right, AFC Wimbledon. Do you want to just carry on with the conversation? Do you want to do anything? Any?
You crack on with what you're doing. I've got over the excitement of being involved now. Much like my wedding day.
So yeah, there was this stag doing there, and that all went away eventually, thank God. And yeah, it was apart from and then the traveling. I mean, London's just a great city to get around in it. Getting to London's a problem, but once you're in London, it's good to get around.
See, I shouldn't have done the joke about the tube. You stuck on the tube because I could have done it then.
I know.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't get stuck on the tube though. I got stuck on a train, and then the coach on the way back on the Sunday night was bad, man. It's bad. So yeah.
Was you a coach on the way back?
Yeah, because no trains were going north of Stafford.
Of course, yeah.
Sounds like early doors now, doesn't it? If I'd have gone, I know I could have gone through Council Lane, up Birdall Lane, and over the roundabout, and then cut back on myself to get to Stockport. But I just didn't think.
If you come Council Lane, you could have come in for a cup of tea, mate. I would have made you a brew.
Well, we were in Council Lane last night. Anyway, we're talking.
Why are you in my manor? What are you doing in my manor and not coming and saying hello?
I was chauffeuring. I was chauffeuring him, so I was dropping his nephews off.
Oh, both of you having a little Council Lane party. Yeah, I give up. You know, you come for the podcast 15 minutes late and you miss everything. Well, why bother?
So, AFC Wimbledon. Did you watch it, Nick, or were you working?
I was working. I caught the second half.
Right. What did you make of it?
It was a great second half to catch. I managed to catch the first half on the radio, and then I nipped over to Botswana for the second half, and it was very poor. Yeah, it was not fun. No. We just seem to have regressed to that team of the first 10 games, like struggling to get the base. And for all that we said last couple of weeks about Byrne being a spot-on replacement for Horsfall, we seem to not bother playing through the back. No, Horsfall's out. It's not a Byrne problem. It's just a problem with the whole defence because Dave Taylor said last night that's not what he's telling him to do. But there's no build. And then, I mean, we'll get on to last night shortly, I'd imagine. I don't know. I've not been on this show before, so But yeah, the one time last night that we did play the ball about a bit, we scored a fantastic goal and then just went back to hoofing it again. It was like watching Wrexham against Sheffield United. Just all offensively assembled midfielders, just watching the ball go over there. And it's with Horsfall out, we're not building up from the back anymore.
Interesting comment, because it's kind of what I said to my mate last night. I think we massively miss Horsfall. Although last night, I know we'll come on to last night, but Byrne did try coming out from the back last night a couple of times. So, you know, I concur with that, with the AFC Wimbledon match. You know, me and Dan left feeling a bit deflated, thinking, I've got to go and watch Wicked now. Jesus. So
Nothing to do with the football then. Just you
No,
go and watch it
no.
Wicked.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, felt a bit deflated, and yeah, it was a weird one. It was a weird one, really was. But like I say, I agree. I think we've regressed back to that first 10 games. As well, it almost feels like we've gone back to that little period that culminated in us losing to Wrexham 3-0. That little period.
Yeah, just shaking. It's the not doing the basics. That's the thing. If we were doing the basics and just not getting there's that phrase, rub of the green, then you'd think, well, fair enough, it'll come. But it's just when we're not doing the basic stuff, and that's what gets people frustrated, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you think there's an element of sort of new player alchemy that's got to work its way in?
I don't know, because I think Noyle has been spot on. I've been really impressed with Noyle in particular when he's come in. The rest of the new signings haven't really got enough. Really played enough to have that problem. I don't know. I think it's just one of them blips coming off the back of injuries and illness and having to. Like obviously, Sarcevic did well against Northampton, and then he's picked up another knock, so he's out. So just as it seems, I don't think it's going to last. This blip, they don't tend to under Dave Challoner. But it's just the sooner we can snap out a bit, the better. But it's all to play for. What, we're still 3 points off the playoffs or something?
Yeah, even though we've not, we say, what is it, 1 or 2 points that we picked up this in January, it's not a good return. But as you say, we're still only 3 points off the playoffs.
Yeah.
If we put a run together, we're easily back in the. We're easily in the playoffs. Should I say, not back in the playoffs? That was last season.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Towards the start of the season, we were near the bottom, weren't we? We were in the bottom 5, I think, or something like that. We had a really good run that propelled us into where we are now, mid-table. Okay, we've had a bit of a blip. Despite a bit of a blip, we've not moved down that much. And if it doesn't last very long and we go on another run, then yeah. Who knows? It could be good timing for a playoff push in terms of getting into playoffs and then having the playoffs. You never know.
Yeah, if we get into them, we'll be the form team.
Yeah.
Which is how you want to go into. And even though we were below par against Bradford last week, I'd still fancy us against them in the playoffs over 2 legs.
Yeah. Easy. Because we were below par, weren't we? And we still held them off. Their keeper had to make a couple of good saves.
Swindon will probably be up there as well, and we beat them 4-0 in the cup with a heavily rotated team.
Yeah.
So you think, well, there's nothing to fear if we can get in there. It's just getting into that run of form. But I don't think it's far. We'll probably go and batter Tranmere 5-0 on Saturday at the game I can't go to. And I'm not banned or anything. It wasn't me like ripping seats up and throwing smoke bombs about. I'm stressed out. I'm just busy.
You're just busy. You're just a busy man. You've got things to do, people to see.
But is it your birthday this week, Russ?
It is my birthday. No, it is my birthday. Yes, it is tomorrow. Yes.
Yeah, happy birthday. It was my sister's birthday tomorrow as well, so we're out on Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah. That's how I remember her birthday.
I was going to say, it's not that you remember it. It's just a bit stalkerish that, but just because it's associated with your sister.
Russell, did you get your birthday pancakes?
It's a significant day. It's in bulk day, which I've always liked. I'll let you Google that. Yeah, in bulk. IMBOLC, I think it is.
It's not sexy thing, is it?
No, it's not like monkey face. So you can Google it in front of kids.
About that.
You can Google it in front of kids, definitely.
Oh, it's halfway. Oh, right. It's a weather thing, isn't it?
No, it's a astrological.
It's not bollocks, isn't it? I'll save you there, mate. I'll save you.
So AFC Wimbledon, yeah. Anything more about the AFC Wimbledon match?
There was the other red card that should have had against Hippo on the line where that guy went straight through him 2-footed from like 4 yards away.
Yeah.
Another incident that just got away with. Whereas, as you say, again, go back to the earlier in the season, we'd have got red cards for them.
Yeah, we would. Yeah, absolutely. Gaz Henderson mentioned that earlier. When we do the dark arts, I know going in 2-footed isn't a dark art, but when we do the dark arts, we were getting punished for it, weren't we? But yeah, no, it's a good point. It's not fair. And the ref again was bad. He was getting pelters from the home fans at AFC Wimbledon as well.
That was his only consistency, was that it was consistently bad for both teams.
Yeah.
Which is a regular thing now.
Yeah.
And the worst thing that's happened to us refereeing-wise this season was Rebecca Welch having a fantastic game against us.
Yeah.
We're never going to see her again now, apart from on Match of the Day.
Yeah.
That's going to be it now. Fuming. I wish she'd had a real bad game against us. Mind you, for weeks before, I was like, she's good. She's the best ref we'll have. So if she had gone and had a shit game against us.
She was decent last season when she refed a game for us last season, didn't she? I can't remember what it was, but she was really good then. As again, you didn't even mention the referee afterwards. She just let the game flow and stopped it when it was needed to be stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, we're just back to the usual shite now. Just either referees who've come up from non-league who aren't ready, or referees who are getting demoted from the Championship and League One because they're not ready. So
it's going to be like that every division now. I think. I don't think it's going to change. Talking to a mate last night, I think it was edgy. When we used to, when we used to go to county as kids, I don't remember ever complaining about a ref. I just don't remember doing it. I don't remember it being the focal point week in, week out.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm sure we just used to have Uriah every week.
Yeah.
Oh, Uriah was great again. Every single week.
Yeah.
If we got beat, it was Ellery.
Yeah,
that was it. Yeah, that's it. Rennie or Ellery, one or the other.
I've got to say, before we move on from AFC Wimbledon, their stand that they've got with the dugouts, the new one they've got. I mean, it's all new, isn't it? I think anyway. But their big stand, that's a class bit of kit. That if the pop side is going to look anything like that, having been inside it as well, because they did a bit of media before the match.
Yes, so you did, yeah.
Yes,
your turn this week, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. So we're getting press passes now, aren't we, Nick? Hey, look at us.
No, it's not the same though, is it? Mind you, it's not like you're sat in the press box for the whole game, were you?
No.
I couldn't do that every week. It was a nice novelty. Although, if anyone from any of the clubs we're playing is listening, yes, I will have a press pass and I will sit in the press box. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's not the same. I do miss my mates.
I got the best of both worlds because I got tucked into the ground through the home fans, lanyard and what have you, into an area dedicated for their unofficial podcast, like us, to do a pre-match show for the club. They have access to the guests, the guests that turn up, the players that turn up, and they do an hour's pre-match show. And me and Dan went on it. They just literally said to Dan when he was there, "Well, do you want to come on it as well?" Because he wasn't planning on it. And yeah, we went on, but we had the best of both of us.
Need me soon.
Well, you were there, were you? So...
No, but you're just in general. Dan's becoming the proper little media professional.
Well, he's the succession plan for definitely for me. So I'm going to get too old for this at some point.
I've just have some kids, haven't I?
Just get Waggy. Waggy looks about 30.
yeah. Waggy looks like what happens if I shave my head.
What do you mean? I've curled my hair tonight for this.
So yeah, I got the best of both worlds because I did that and then was took to our away end, had a pint, and watched the match. The only thing that spoiled it was the actual match, to be fair.
Anyway,
there was one other thing. Their mascot walking around with a wheelie bin, banging the wheelie bin to get the crowd going.
Yeah,
forgot about that. That was unbelievable. I was like, "What? That's crazy."
No, but I thought that was all right because a Womble of Wimbledon, that's what they do. They go around picking litter up, don't they, and using it for making good use of everything.
Know about it? They're not going to get done for like.
Oh, they might do, yeah.
Property theft, are they? Like the BBC, like, "Oh, cease and desist."
Oh. Stuart Poynton was a pint for gratis or had to hand over some till. Bloody hell, that's some northern rhyming, some northern cheese. No, I had to pay for it. I didn't get anything for free. Oh, we got a program, got a complimentary program. There we go. That was quite nice.
I got one of them last Tuesday. Very good.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what you want, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, their stand. I would love that at Edgeley Park on the pop side. Really nicely done. Boxes all the way along. Really nice inside. Mr. Stott, if you're listening, it's already with the architects in it, I'm sure.
Yeah. I don't think. Do you reckon he's on the phone to the architects now? Like, whoa. I've had a letter here from Russ of the Scarpa. Oh, that'll be another email now. Now I've done that impression.
Oh.
I think my impressions are so bad you can't tell who they are. So fine, I think I find it.
Could all be the same person.
That was generic 70s TV presenter 3. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, before we move on to the Crewe match, if you are watching live, please do like it. Even if you're not watching live, please like the show. That would be really good. And subscribe if you haven't already. You need to subscribe if you want to do the live chat, because I've added a feature. So we don't get all those. A block, yes, so we don't get all of those naughty...
Sexy spam.
Sexy spam, that's it. That's what I was looking for. And if you're listening to us on Spotify, iTunes, whatever podcast player you listen to us on, please rate us and review us, etc. Is it a good time? I mentioned I was going to say I mentioned the Patreon earlier, but I kind of skipped through it. Do you want to go through that in a bit more detail now?
Yeah, I mean, the thrilling thing is I don't know just what you said or how much detail you put in, so I might just repeat it all. But yes, if they're watching this live, well, no, because if they're watching this live, then they've watched it already, so they won't need early access to the audio. And if they're listening, then they're already listening, whether on Spotify on Friday morning. But yes, from this the audio podcast, I'm just all of a dinner today. So I want my best top as well. I want this top. I thought, I feel good in this top. This is like my performance top. It's like nice and small. Got like slick, kind of longish sleeves. It's like, it makes me feel good about myself, and then just.
And this happened.
All over myself with tech issues. But yes, if you subscribe to our Patreon for just £3 a month, as Waggy has, thank you, Waggy, it's much appreciated. And you get the audio podcast straight to your feed immediately after the show finishes, 36 hours before the shit munchers. There's merch discounts, there's free merch, there's free tickets for selected live shows, priority tickets for other selected live shows. And you get to feel like you're making a difference, which, I mean, I won't mind feeling like that. I feel like I've made a difference since I've been on here tonight.
It will have my voice on it.
Yeah. Well, watch all the subscribers just compiling in now they know you're on.
Yeah.
It's like Waggy's on, bloody, have me £3.
Just on the
£3 a month is very reasonable, and that all goes into producing more content and merch and putting some live stuff on. Also, we've got some big ideas. In the words of Alex Turner, I had big ideas, and the band was so excited.
Yes, we have got big ideas. Just on the merch, though, we are going to get that out pretty soon. So if you're on Patreon, you get discount on that merch. We will give you the patrons free merch. It's merchandise, sorry, fucking merch, merchandise. But you'll have to give us some time for that to get that going. But yeah, we will start doing stuff like that. And yeah, like you say, live shows as well. It's a bit exciting, isn't it, Nick? It's a bit exciting.
I mean, I for one am cock a hoop.
I can tell.
I mean, I honestly am. I know. This is why I don't do adverts. I don't do voiceovers or anything like. Shop at Morrison.
There's a question coming in. How do you sign up? Well, we'll put a link into the chat.
Yeah, or if you go onto, have you put it on the link tree, Russ?
I have put it on the link tree.
There you go. Then, if you go onto the episode description on YouTube, then click on our link tree, and there's a link to the Patreon right there. £3 a month, not even the price. It's a price of a pint and a half if you're in Wetherspoons and you're drinking selected lagers. But yeah, I think that's very reasonable. £3. We could have gone for a £5, but we're not greedy bastards, are we? We just want to pay for the hosting and stuff.
That's it. Yeah, we're not in it to make. Well, we're not to make money. It's just the hosting. Everything will go back in, and it'll help us just create better, more better content. And I've got a bit of content that I'm going to show you later when we talk about transfers. So
you have, haven't you? Yeah.
Yes. So
have you? Is this the thing I've already seen? No, it won't be, will it?
No, literally did it before we came on air. I knocked something up when we talk about the transfers. So anyway, park
that. Like this, I'll knock you up.
Ooh. So talk about the Crewe match while I just go nip and do something because my son is an absolute turd face. I'll let you talk about the Crewe match.
Yeah, go on, you start, Waggy, because I hated every second of it.
Did you go?
No, I watched the stream.
All right. Yeah, I went. I was in the on the side of the pitch next to all the Neds, all the Crewe Neds that were there. The 14 to 19-year-olds with all the gear on, and as soon as he's, they were allowed for the first 20 minutes. Then they all like quietened down, and then when they scored, they all went mental and they were all chanting all the way through half time, which was quite strange. But I think they all stand there
hoods
because,
up and all that.
Yeah,
I suppose they've got to make themselves less sexy, haven't they? Somehow.
Absolutely.
Talking of making yourself less sexy, here's Russ.
Hey! that is very true.
It was just they say they were there, and then they scored just before half time, and then they were all going off and giving it the large. But where we were stood, there was a few of the young uns there, but most of it were like, I would say people my age, our age, that were stood there. So they're all like giving it, yeah, come on, and we're all just like, off. But then all our heads all like sort of came down, and it all started getting a bit aggro. So it was good fun to watch. Not seeing like that at football for a long time because we're normally too far away from the away fans and stuff. So it was quite fun.
It's always the ones who live in a town like Crewe as well, isn't it? It's like if I lived in Crewe, I wouldn't be that open about the fact I'm a knobhead. I'd just be like, oh shit. Did the
keep your head down?
Yeah.
Just mingle in with the rest of them.
That's how the trouble started. Did that flag make an appearance? The born in Crewe, live in Crewe, die in Crewe, which is the bleakest flag you ever likely to see at a football match.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either. They had a few flags on the back, like say the stand that was next to us, but I didn't see anything. I didn't see any of that.
Did you notice they had a stand called the Rhino Security Stand?
That was the stand with the flags.
I mean, don't let the rhinos out. There you go. But there's Rhino Security.
There can't be much call for that. There can't be much call for that. Like volcano insurance. Phil Lloyd, he signed up. Cheers, mate. Appreciate that.
Phil.
Friend of the podcast. Nice one.
Not only is he a friend of the podcast, he's now a member of the TSBW fan club.
Yes, and that's what
we'll have to get badges.
We can do that.
Oh, we'll give him some badges.
A mug. TSBW's biggest fan.
Oh, you're turning into a competition now. We'll be fighting all over them.
Yeah, I did see an interesting flag actually. This was a really weird one. I don't know if anybody, nobody will know this, but I don't know why they would. I don't know why I've even said that. I'll start again. My best mate is from Little Rock. He lives in Little Rock. He's from Bridgehall, from Stockport with me, but lives in Little Rock,
Arkansas.
Yeah, and he's lived there since he was 10 or 11. There was a flag in the Crewe end that said Little Rock Alex, and it was a Little Rock Rangers badge with a Crewe Alexandra badge. That's a bit weird, isn't it? A bit of a coincidence. Yeah, really obscure.
I mean, we've got the California one, haven't we? The Stadio Junkie.
Yeah.
But California's a
nice place to live. Yeah.
Wow. Is it? I don't know.
Well, I suppose it is on the, if you live near the beach and things.
Compared to Crewe.
Well, yeah. Yeah. So where were we with the Crewe match? Have you done that already?
No, we were just discussing the amazing fan base that they had stood next to us.
Yeah, but Waggy, what have I told you?
I
You
know,
can't
I know.
mention the fans.
Oh well,
No,
sorry.
You
Get upset.
can.
No, I
I can.
specifically
You
me.
can't.
Yeah, specifically me. I'm not allowed to mention fans.
Well, he's a guest on it, and you've just failed to control him. So well done. The Ofcom on the phone.
We get the email about me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
reading that one out. Excellent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, but the
It
match
just
itself.
seemed like, first 10 minutes, I just thought this could be a cricket score there. Because the first 10 minutes, we just seemed to be still in the changing room in the first 10 or 15 minutes. Then we kind of grew into it a bit. Camps had that effort that went off the post, off the outside of the post, started to grow into the game a little bit, and then just completely switched off from a corner. Just in hilarious fashion. It was one of them that if I was watching a Premier League team do that, I'd be pissing myself laughing. Because it was some dreadful, was it 3 or 4 players just all going for one man and just leaving the other one unmarked? So it was absolute madness.
Yeah. Did it? What actually happened? I've not seen it back yet. I saw it in real time. It was right in front of me. I was in that end, but
So the left came to the front post for a flick on.
And 2 men followed him.
2 or possibly 3,
right?
And just left. Yeah, I think it was Johnson who left the scorer, and then but I'd have to watch it back just to double check. I don't want to be throwing him under the bus. But yeah, it's just basic stuff.
Yeah. It does seem there's comments coming in about Johnson at the moment, and it does seem that he is getting some attention, should we say, from the fans.
I think he's very good as a stopper. It's just when you've got Akil Wright as a wide centre back on the right, I think it shows up Johnson's. I don't know how to describe it really, but his involvement in the build-up, I think, is found lacking. But the left side, they just targeted that all. I was very surprised to see Hussey at wing back. To be honest, I'd have gone Hussey at wide centre back and Rydell at wing back myself. But it was quite clear half an hour in that we were getting overrun down that side. I was surprised it took. I mean, Hussey was struggling with cramp for about 15 minutes before he actually got subbed. So I thought that was a bit of a strange one. And
I don't think Rydell had a very good game against Wimbledon, so maybe that was why he got dropped.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's it. I've been very surprised, particularly against Wimbledon and last night. We just didn't manage to. What's the word? What's the phrase? We didn't manage to get Rydell high, Russ.
Yes.
Worth it. That was worth it this week. Yeah,
it was. Yeah,
every week. Yeah. He didn't have the best game Saturday, so you can see why. And then I think Hippolyte's been a bit out of form, so you couldn't really make the case for him coming in for Rydell at wing back. But then when Hippo came on last night and Rydell, we looked a lot better. I think we started to push up the pitch a bit and try and get in behind. So it's a tricky. I think it's just about finding that formula again, full stop. But like I said before, when we did play football last night, we scored a fantastic equaliser. I thought Wootton was brilliant last night again.
Wootton?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought he was good. Yeah.
Yeah, so we looked decent going out like the right hand side. The right wing back and Akil Wright looked good, and I think Crewe knew that, and they knew that we had nothing. We had Hussey on the left hand side, so they just doubled up on that side, knowing that Johnson and Hussey on the left hand side just weren't a threat. They weren't going to get in behind them or do anything because of the way they are, the 2 players that they are. You know, they do what they need to do, but Hussey's not a wing back for me. I know that's what position he's sort of played before coming to us, but I don't see him as a wing back.
No,
particularly not in the system.
No, I don't think he's got the legs to. I think he's a good player. I just don't think he's got the legs to be a wing back for 90 minutes. And he's not. He's a good left centre half, but I don't think that's his natural position. I think he's a left back, but we don't play 4 at the back. Which might
recovery pace, isn't it? It's the same issue with Bardsley in the Walsall Cup game. He just doesn't have that. When you're that high, expected to be that high up the pitch and involved in the build-up, you need to have the pace to get back, and you just don't.
Yeah, and I'm sure they add lots more to the situation than it might sound stupid, but than just playing. Because you've got their experience. They're probably mentors for other players, younger players, probably good around the changing room and things like that. And they do play a part. They play a part, and it is squad management. And he's making moves in the transfer window, isn't he, as well? So, and he made moves yesterday, and we'll come to that in a second. The goal was pretty good. I felt like we were trying to walk it in after that. It's almost like that worked, so let's try and do that again. Let's try and until Johnson had a shot. We were saying, why don't they just hit it when they get a chance? Press the shoot on sight button.
Yeah, and I think Byrne did one before that, didn't he? Where he just took the ball up, went on a bit of a run, and then passed it, and then carried on. And he got a shot off and was unlucky with that. And then we was like sort of directly behind Johnson, and when he hit it, it was like, whoa. It was like looked like it was going in for a bit, and then it just swerved off. But,
I shouted, "Don't shoot!" at the telly.
Everybody in our stand shouted, "Don't shoot!" as well.
Really? I was praying for it to go in. Really was. I don't know how far wide it was in the end. I couldn't tell from where I was.
Wasn't far off.
It wasn't far. It didn't look far off from being the other end of the pitch.
Yeah.
Well, I think the crosses that Crewe were putting in, they put some fantastic crosses in, and just the strikers just seem to be a few seconds behind, just nowhere near them. But their crossing was fantastic. On another day, I think they could have.
That was certainly off their right hand side. Again, they seemed to work quite well. The right back, wing back, wherever they were playing, and the winger that they had, they seemed to be working quite well, and they were certainly, to say, for the 10 minutes, 15 minutes that Hussey wanted to come off, they were just shredding us. And that was saying about obviously the dark arts and the shithousery. The first time that Hussey went down with cramp, he was actually off the pitch and almost on the asphalt bit, and he just bum shuffled on it. So he was sat on the pitch and was like, started holding his leg. So so maybe we were saying a bit before about the dark arts and stuff, but Hussey definitely did it a couple of times when he got cramp. So
that's good. That's good, because if you don't do it, like Charlie said, if we don't do it, other teams will, and we'll be at a disadvantage. So you've got to play the game, haven't you? We're cracking on for time here. Shall we look at the transfer business that we've done on transfer deadline day? Ready for this?
It's not funny. Oh, look at that!
Ooh.
Oh wow, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah. So, incoming, obviously got Joe Grayson, left-sided defender. It says. I'm not sure if anybody knows anything about him.
Midfield and left-sided centre back. I've seen mentioned on Twitter. They could have got him in a county shirt for the picture, couldn't they? But
they could have done.
Oh, he's also the son of Simon Grayson. So that's. I mean, county nerds, get in touch. Is that the first father and son loan pairing that we've had? So we had Simon Grayson on loan, didn't we? Was it 2000-ish, maybe earlier?
Yeah, didn't he have a bit of a tiz because he was on loan, wasn't playing, and wanted to go back, something like that?
Quite possibly, yeah. Yeah, quite possibly. Still had a better time with us than he did in charge of Sunderland on the documentary, though. So swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know that was his son. Bit of nepotism there. Always goes a long way in football, doesn't it? Yeah, so he's not had a picture taken.
He's a nepo baby.
Aaron Rowe, right-sided winger, or right-sided right wing back?
Yeah, in the press release, they made him seem like a Crankshaw type. Could play on either flank. But I'd imagine he's going to be a wing back cover. But then again, I think Challoner said he can be part of the midfield as well. So your guess is as good as mine, mate.
Waggy, do you know anything about him?
No, and I don't know. I've not been able to have a look at about anything for him. But yeah, I thought he was more of a, like say, a right wing back that we were bringing in. That's the impression that I got. But don't know.
Got a comment coming in here. Looks like Aaron Rowe hasn't played competitively for nearly 3 years, and he's come in with a knee knock, according to DC. Worrying our new signing seems to be injured or get injured quickly after joining. Yeah, Alafi. It happened to Alafi, didn't it, as well? He come in, he's straight on into the physio room.
We signed Stretton, who come in injured.
Yes. So yeah, so round about March, April time, we'll be fine, won't we? All these players.
Fucking hope so.
Then on the way out yesterday, Connor Jennings made the permanent move to Hartlepool, which I found very strange. It just not him leaving, more the club choice or the club that he's gone to.
I did notice in their announcement as well, they were at pains to go on about how much pace he's got, which, while he's got plenty of strength, pace isn't one of them. So I think they might be in for a job. But it's good move for him because his contract up in the summer with us, so he's got a contract there to the end of the season, and then he'll either do enough to get a new contract there or somewhere else. So it's good, puts himself in a shop window.
Yeah, I think he'll get games there, won't he?
Yeah.
The way that they're playing and stuff, he'll get games for them. But yeah, definitely. I don't think I'd ever say that he was a pacey striker.
Not in the slightest. I don't.
No. Yeah, he's a good striker though. But I'm not too surprised to see him go to get first team football because he was pretty much down the pecking order as things stand. Callum MacDonald, another one. So gone to Bristol Rovers on a permanent deal. Spoke to a friend of mine who's a Bristol Rovers fan, who's very high up in Fan Hub, in so much as he owns it, actually. And he said that their fan base were underwhelmed because he's been on our bench and they've signed him. And I think it's just one of the very few signings that they made, and he was very underwhelmed. I quite liked Callum MacDonald.
Is he another one that's at his best in a back four?
Didn't he come in against Bradford? Was that his first game against Bradford? Did we play a four at the back then, or was he playing as a wing back?
Yeah, I think we played four at the back at Bradford, did we not? Did we not play the weird 4-2-2-2 thing? I can't remember now.
Not sure.
I'll have a look. You just crack on while I have myself a look.
And I do apologise to Callum MacDonald because I know he's watching. I've spelt his name wrong. It should be MacDonald, not McDonald, as in the fast food restaurant chain.
Well done, mate. This is why.
The fast food restaurants are available. Are you supposed to say that as well?
Yes.
Yeah. Imagine you could order a Burger King and then the delivery guy will go and pick you up some McDonald's fries on the way. That's the dream, isn't it? All the stuff we've managed to conquer technology-wise. If they could do that, I'd be like, if I could get like a double Whopper with cheese with McDonald's fries, I'd be a happy man. Finally. Yes, we did play four at the back, Bradford away. Yeah.
Oh.
With Collar at right back.
Yeah, I remember that.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But so McDonald's was the left of a back four in that game.
Joe Inglesfield role played against Rotherham last October, so that is within the 3-year bracket. I think that somebody else mentioned 3-year window. So not sure what to believe there.
He's definitely played games because he played under Huddersfield's last manager and had a bit of a falling out with him apparently, according to the forum. In fact, was it who's Huddersfield manager now? Is it the Spanish fella? The Spanish fella.
That narrows it down.
Yeah. Well, I'll just double check that while I'm on Flash Scores. What division are Huddersfield in now? Oh, they're struggling. It is. It doesn't tell you who the manager is. Oh no. Carlos Corberan was the one he's apparently fallen out with, but he's not there now. Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
He's falling out with players willy-nilly. But yeah, pace though down that. I mean, I can only imagine he's going to be back up to Noel, or Noel, as the Crewe commentators kept calling him last night.
Did they?
As soon as they started saying Noel in the first couple of minutes, I was like, well, they're going to be saying Hinchcliffe, aren't they? And lo and behold, what did they say when Aki forgot the ball? Hinchcliffe.
He announced Riddle coming on.
Ryan Riddle.
Yeah, Ryan Riddle came on.
Yeah, can't have it all, can you?
So that's the transfer roundup. Maybe I'll do like a bit of a transfer roundup. And if, by the way, if something does happen while we're live on air, we have got this as well. There we go. I always want to play that.
It makes me want to come out as gay or something.
Why?
Some big breaking podcast news.
Oh right, I see. Just to see that. I've got you right.
Just because I love you so much for doing it, that I'm just gonna change my whole life.
Yes, that's transfer news. One more thing to talk about, I think, just very briefly. We've got a new chief operating officer.
Yes, we do. The worst kept secret in county history, possibly.
They're all badly kept secrets, aren't they? When it comes to county.
Favorite kind of secrets.
Yes, and he's from City. Boo. And he's called Tom.
That was the most half-hearted boo ever. So you could tell you didn't.
Right, I'll do that again. He's from City. Boo! There we go. Boo.
Oh, me think the lady does protest too much. You can't win, can you, Russ?
No, you're not going to win. You're not going to win
It's like
this one, are
City
you,
in the
Russ?
Champions League.
I know. Yeah, Tom Mann. From City. So I think that's all we can say about that. He's there to do head of operations. So, yeah.
So what's he doing, like knee ligament damage and stuff? Keyhole surgery.
Right, let's move on. Waggy, let's finish up with a bit about you. You're our fan guest today. Tell us a bit about yourself. What's your name?
It's Waggy, aka Mark Wagster.
AKA Mark Wagster.
Yes.
What a great name. Wagster's a great surname, and it's just lends itself to it. Yeah.
I work for a global company that's got about 150,000 people working for them, and I am the only Wagster.
There is only one
You're
Wagster.
the only Mark.
One Wagster. yeah, I'm the only Mark. There's 17,000 Wagsters.
That's funny. Where was I with that? Oh yeah. And when did you start supporting County? Around about
1990, I think, was the first time. 1990 season was the first game I went to. Around October, November. I don't know. I haven't got a clue who it was we was playing. I was 17. I think I was half cut. And I went with my mates and just remember going in the pop side, obviously standing at one end when we was kicking that way, standing at the other end when we was kicking the other way, and just giving the away fans grief depending when we was kicking that way.
Nice. Got to be done. Who's your favourite ever player?
I would say probably either Toddy or Kev Cooper, because I used to play left back and left winger, and I was only little when I was sort of 16, 17, so obviously Toddy is still little.
In height he is.
Last time we checked.
Yeah.
Are you a left footer,
I am a left footer, yes.
Don't see many of them, do you? How are you at wide centre back? We could have done with you. You're a free agent. We can still.
I'm a free agent, yeah. Just because I may look 30, I'm definitely not.
So yeah, diminutive, I think, is the word that John Kieran likes to use for that type of player.
Likeable is another John Kieran adjective that he uses a lot, doesn't he? He always says he's always like the likeable Scouser. It's never the hubcap thieving fucker.
No, it's not. Is it?
Here he is, the likeable Scouser. I don't think he said it for John Rooney, though. I don't think John Rooney got described as a likeable Scouser, did he?
I don't remember him ever. No. I wouldn't. If he did, I wouldn't have remembered it anyway.
Maybe this. No. Well, no. You concentrate on the actual football and stuff. I just delve into the minutiae of what John Kieran's saying. That's it. You follow the main thread. I'll follow the subplot. Russ. That's fair enough, isn't it?
Sounds like a plan. So yeah. So County then. I know you said you went with your mates. Was there anything in particular that got you coming to County? Why County and not the big two? Is probably the question.
Well, I would say at the time I was a Man United supporter. For the reason being is that my granddad played for them in the late 40s, early 50s. He was on the books for 3 years. I think he may have only ever played once for them. So he was a massive, big United fan. So
17,000 players called Wagster, didn't they? So
he wasn't a Wagster. So he was on my mum's side. So
right.
Yeah, so there was even more of them. I would say that at the time I was probably a United fan, but then I used to play football on the park on Councillor Lane because my mum and dad live at the back of just around there. So we moved up there in '89, and then I started playing football on Council Lane Park, or Adswood Park as it is. And then I just noticed that all the lads that I was used to playing football with, they used to disappear on a Friday night. So seeing them on like the Saturday or the Sunday, I was like, where were you lot last night? You know, there's only 3 of us kicking a ball around. And they were like, oh, we went to watching County. So then it was like, why don't you come next time? So I just ended up going with them. And then just like I say, really enjoyed it. Absolutely loved the atmosphere and all the crack and everything like that. And then just carried on with that. And then one of my mates that I started hanging around with when I was like 19, 20, he had a season ticket with his dad. So I bought myself a season ticket and went with them for, I think it was 14 or 15 years. I had a season ticket. Then I changed my job in 2008. And I was like traveling quite a bit. So I had a season ticket, missed 8 games. Honestly, the first season that I did this job. And then I was like, I'm not getting a season ticket because it's just no point me because I'm missing loads of games. And then, as I said, I ended up the next season, I wasn't at home for a single home game. So I'd have just bought a season ticket for nothing. So just doing a lot of traveling around and stuff like that with work. So trying to go I'd say as often as I can, but I was going probably once, maybe twice a season for the last 6-7 years. And then the last two years, bought a season ticket again because I changed my job and I own more. So I got my season ticket for me, and I got a season ticket for me now 15-year-old, soon to be 15-year-old nephew, and got dragged him in. So he was a Red, and now he's a County fan, and he's like, he's mad for it. He's like, wants to go home and away, and he's really into his football, and he's like, he'll go straight up to the stand and watch them warming up and looking at techniques and that type of stuff. So we've got him and his best mate that I take pretty much all the home games and as many away games as we can.
Nice. So you've not only have you come yourself, you've passed that on to the next generation.
How did you know? It's the way
I said I'm a County fan, not a Crewe fan. See, there's 2 emails you're getting now.
See, you've ruined the lovely moment. Joe Inglesfield says quality, and he's about to hear what you start sputty laughing at. But yeah, no, it's good that you've turned to County yourself, and now you've sort of passed that on to your nephew and his mate as well. So yeah, perfect. Take it his mate. Forget his name, but
Denny.
Denny, them two have done the kids podcast for us in the past, haven't they?
Yes, yeah. So my nephew's Josh, and his best mate is Denny. So they did the last podcast that they did that Dan did. So yeah, they were both on that.
Yeah.
So
And was he a
you
United
could
fan
probably
before that as
tell him then.
well?
Yeah, they were both United fans.
Oh, were they? Oh, good. Well, that's 2 less United fans, which is always that's brilliant. That is
I'll say that.
absolutely brilliant. Love it. Right. I think we're just about done for this week.
I'd say so. Wouldn't you?
I
Well, you
would
just
say
did.
so. Yeah. So watch out for news coming out. Patrons will get the news first about merchandise. Any live gigs we've got, because we've got some exciting news coming up about that. Patrons will get the news first.
I think they're called patrons. The
they're
thing's
not
called
called
Patreon, and they're called patrons.
Patrons. Ah, okay, that would make more sense actually. Yeah.
I said this on my other podcast. Dan on my other podcast keeps calling the Patreons. So I've just said subscribers. It's easier, isn't it?
Probably is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the subscribers to the well, no, because we've got YouTube subscribers, so we're gonna have to work this out.
Yeah, I say Patreon subscribers.
Okay. So our
Fan club
Patreon
members.
subscribers.
SBW fan club members. There you go. That'll do it.
Okay. Our fan club members will get
Well,
first.
go on, Russ.
Our fan club members will get first sight of anything we do, and then we'll release it thereafter to the non. Oh no, the shit munchers, as Nick put it.
We do love
So,
you
yeah.
all.
If you are watching on YouTube, please do like at this point. We're on 25 likes. Let's bump that up, and please do subscribe if you haven't already. We're not doing a competition to get to a threshold of subscribers ever again.
Again.
No,
Never again.
never again.
We're going to give him a mug in a bit, Matt.
Yeah, yes. And if you're listening to us on any podcast player, Spotify, iTunes, Google podcast players, whatever, then do rate and review us. And apart from that, thank you very much.
Cheers for having me. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having me as well.
Yeah, it was nice for you to turn up when you did. Thank you for joining us.
Opportune, wasn't it? I could see you were both struggling. I thought
we were a bit. Fair news. Right, Waggy, cheers for coming on, mate. I really appreciate it.
Cheers.
And we will see you next week. Cheers, everybody. Bye.